Well, my name is Raymond Aldous, and I'm a member of the Icknield District Scout Council. I have been a member since 1954. It's when I joined as a leader, and I've been here ever since. The award was presented by the Queen for my service to young people and scouting. I started my scouting in 1944 as a boy and continued until I was 18. Well, 18 years was the cut-off point for scouts, but it was a time when I was called up for military service. I signed on. I didn't just do national service. I signed on because I wanted to. I wanted a trade that appealed to me, and the only way I could do that was by signing on. And I became a radio mechanic. I was trained down at Locking in Somerset, and after I finished the course, sat back waiting for the posting to come up, and it was to Egypt of all places. And so I and two or three others, there was only two or three others selected from the course that went to the Middle East. That was a bit of a, well, a blow. It was a bit of a shock to me, because when I arrived on this camp, the first thing I noticed was a sign over the top of a building, Second Great Bitter Lake Scout Group. What? Scouts in Egypt? How can there be scouts in Egypt? We're all servicemen. But of course, servicemen have their families with them, and this was an opportunity for the youngsters to do something with their time when they're abroad, because it could be very, very boring. I mean, the Suez Canal is not the most exciting place in the world to visit, and half the time you weren't allowed out of camp because of hostilities. So scouting was one way of them getting out and doing something, and that's what they did. We did everything. We did everything that scouts in this country did. The only thing they couldn't do was go on their 12-mile hike, because it wasn't safe for them to walk along the canal road. But no, they did everything the same as scouts in this country did. Because in those days, it was scouting for boys, and guiding was the girls' activity. So there was no girls in scouting when I at that particular time. But we had girls who were leaders. Oh yes, girls became leaders, but they weren't actually members of the movement themselves. So I did 2.5 years in Egypt and thoroughly enjoyed myself. It was amazing. Our district commissioner was an Air Commodore. If you know anything about military service, he's fairly well up the scale. And he was our district commissioner, and he organised everything. I think he must have spent pretty well the whole of his service time scouting, because we didn't hear anything else from him other than that. It's great. Well, my father was still a member of the group that I was with. Initially, they would probably have been the Western Division, and then shortly after then they changed names and became the Icknield District, which is what they're called today. And he remained on the group committee as a fundraiser, and he took me down to the troops. I'll take you down there. Well, down to the troop, yeah, they'll love to see you. Took me down there and introduced me, and that was it. I was signed on as an assistant leader there and then. I took, it took 2 years for me to move up, because the Scoutmaster then had resigned due to his business commitments, and I took over the run of the troop, and I ran the troop for another 18 years. 18 years, that was a long time. Change of district commissioner. Got a job for you, Ray. What's that? I've got one. No. We want an assistant district commissioner. But at the moment, you'll be district scout leader. And when you, in a couple of years, we'll make you up to ADC scouts. Oh, sounds interesting. And I did that job for a best part of 15, 16 years, and thoroughly enjoyed myself. I was going to free range. I was the commissioner in charge of the scout section, the 11 to 15-year-olds. I got this letter. Her Majesty's government. What have I done wrong now? And so I opened it. Well, when they picked me up off the floor, I recovered. You know, it was then that I learned that I'd been nominated for the MBE. Not to tell anybody. Oh, I'm living on my own now, and I can't tell anybody. No. We can't leave that. No, I'll have to ring them up. So I rang up Buckingham Palace and had a word with them and said, look, I'm living on my own. I've got to tell somebody, because if I drop dead tomorrow, what are you going to... And that was it. Oh, no. She's not going to tell anybody, is she? No. And that was it. And she didn't. She kept it to herself right up until the day the awards were announced. Oh, it was absolutely wonderful. The visit to the palace was something else. The taxi drove in and stopped outside the door, and the I don't know what you call him, one of the officials, saw that I'd got a stick, rushed over, helped me out of the car, escorted me up the stairs. Absolutely wonderful. I just could not believe it. We just went into the reception room and met the other people who were receiving the award. And there was a mixture. There really was a mixture. There was another scout there who was very, very upset, unfortunately, because he hadn't been told he could wear his scout uniform. And he said, oh dear, I'd have loved to award it for this, on this occasion. But no, it was a superb ceremony. We all lined up in groups of about 6 by the entrance hall, and they announce your name, and you walk in and receive the award from. And I was very fortunate. My award was presented by the Queen. Other people who has been in the area, the mentioned Rita, was mentioned in that report. She went in February or March the following year. I went in November. The previous year, she went in February and March, and her award was presented by one of the other royalty. It's hard to say how I felt. It really is, because there you were, standing there, meeting the monarch, you know, and I don't know whether the thoughts I had were the same as other people that received the award that day. I don't know, but I felt absolutely, very proud to have been there. And we had a marvellous day. We had the presentation and wandered out through the palace gates into a taxi and down the road into a restaurant for our celebration meal. Well, I don't run a scout troop, you see. I'm one of those people, part of the district. I'm officially the. I was at the time. I've since taken a step back. I was the media manager for the district, so I used to write all the press releases and for the district and send them through to the Luton News, which is a job I'd done for many years. But how did the others? The cards I had were unbelievable. 20 or 30 cards from groups and other people congratulating me, and they'd been briefed because they'd picked it up off the television programme in the morning of the in the morning. Well, it's a marvellous organisation. It's something which you'll remember all your life. The activities and the fun you have as a young person. Even if it's climbing up a mountain in North Wales or going canoeing down the canal. These are things that you remember, and I think it's well worth considering.